And welcome back to another build along, everyone. We're here on this nice blank field where you are currently observing me in real time, except not really, picking out blocks that I want to do for this particular build. Now, you may be wondering, what oh what have I got for you today? And the answer to that is going to be another statue. However, unlike all of the previous statues that I've showcased on this channel so far, this one is going to be significantly more unique. For you see, it's not going to be a typical fantasy statue, and neither is it going to be as small as most of the stuff that I've done so far. You see, one of the things that brought Eric and I together when we were just becoming friends is a shared hobby of watching some 2D animated streamers,
Yo ho ho, yo ho.
of all things. Singing and dancing and playing games and cracking jokes with one another, and I wanted to pay an homage to that. So instead of doing quite literally anything else productive with my time today, I figured, you know what, I'm going to make a small little interjection between working on Clay Mosaic or playing Age of Mythology or even doing some survival playing with Eric that I can turn into content, and instead focus on just dissolving myself into building someone that I know that both the VTuber community and us two can really say that we definitely miss. Starting with the pedestal that I've sort of outlined as one of the key important bits that you can have about the statue. This thing specifically is meant to represent sort of like a nautical marine theme, and above everything else it has some like shark bits to it. I'm definitely here trying to add some kind of I guess in my mind these things could be considered like a sea foam. Here's me texturing the mouth of this esoteric looking mouth over here. I decided to give it a bit of anti-aliasing with some what are they called? Crimson planks? I know that they're not actual red planks because the red planks are called mahogany. Not mahogany, mangrove. Oh boy. And I'm also working on this I guess I don't know what this thing would be called other than just a floor. And the floor for this is kind of just a normal sandstone. Now, one of the more interesting things that I have discovered in my years of making making Minecraft buildings. I haven't been doing YouTube for years, silly me. I've been doing these builds for a hot minute, however. And one of the things is that, despite the common misconception that this bottom texture of sandstone is only available through the usage of on the underside of the block, if you will see, the bottom texture is actually getting the sandstone on the top of the block is actually done through the utilization of sandstone, what are they called? Sandstone stairs upside down, which gives us both the sandstone smooth texture and the sandstone like greebly texture on the top of the block. As well as that, I decided to mix in some birch because it's a fairly similar color, and even adding some bone blocks to the sides of the pedestal, just to give it that little bit of a marble feeling to it. Let's actually get to the meat and potatoes of this statue, because after all, this is supposed to be a statue, even though it's currently not looking much like one. Kind of looks more like a very flat and very marine-inspired cake.
A few moments later.
What are you doing? Get on with it. Oh, he actually listened. Nope. He just moved. Silly me. I don't listen to anyone, including myself. One of the things that you will probably notice about the fact that we're building Gawr Gura over here is the fact that there is not a good block to represent Gura properly. Sure, we have a lot of cyan and we have a lot of these like colored blue concrete and lapis lazuli and wool, but these aren't necessarily good blocks to represent her with because of the fact that her hoodie is significantly these aren't good blocks to build with because they don't have a stair or a slab variation. You could go with cyan like I did here, but that will necessitate, you know, having to muck around with some colors and suspend your disbelief at large over the fact that, you know, Gura's hoodie is not actually this shade of blue. I also am really struggling to keep the statue reasonably compact because, as it happens, Gura is, on top of everything else, short as heck. I feel like if I was building literally anybody else to start this off with, I would have been doing a significantly more ambitious proportion than I am currently doing here. Thankfully, her statue as a short stack, for lack of a better word, saves me a lot of issues with actually building this individual. Here you can see me trying to get the proportions relatively alright with her hoodie, and you know, the hoodie basically comes with a lot of the same built-in techniques that I did with the dragon, blending these like light prismarine bricks and weathered copper into the darker shades of warped planks and stuff. I also give her the signature shark mouth motif that just as I have with the pedestal, but on her hoodie. I wanted to give her more of like an Atlantean look, but I elected against that because of, you know, it's not quite what Gura is known for, I think. Going further still, adding some like a lot of stairs, a lot of slabs, making sure to properly emphasize the lighter parts on both of her sleeves and the hood of the hoodie. The hood of the hoodie. Oh, and it's raining, because I forgot to turn off rain. There we go. And now the head. Now, the head also requires you to suspend some disbelief. Despite the fact that... despite how the head may have looked on a 9x9 statue, this one is actually not quite as polished, I think. And that's mainly due to the fact that I tried to do something that I never do, and that is to add a nose. I think that in the design of Gura at large, yeah, that doesn't quite seem right. Don't worry, I get back to fixing it. I add the trident, the signature little Atlantean fork. I also, because I'm doing this kind of on the fly, I am trying to get as straight of a stick as I can, without it being too obvious that I don't necessarily know what I'm doing with my life. And for all intents and purposes, I think that this one is a fairly decent looking stick. A fairly decent looking fork at that. I'm experimented a little bit with the blush, which unfortunately did not pay out. I think at most I'm willing to give her like these eyes, and yeah, surprisingly it works remarkably well. I also decided to add some darker prismarine, because despite the name Dark Prismarine, it it does come across as a lighter shade of warped planks, even if at the cost of being significantly more gray. Not gray, green. I also decided that I was going to add some waves to the pedestal to make it seem like more like a aquatic motif. And to my rusty eyes when it comes to building someone that is an anime-ish character, I don't really think that I could have done a significantly better job with this. Maybe someone else is going to prove me incorrect. But for now, I think that this is going to be a fairly decent foray into making VTuber statues. Now, you'll probably notice that I have 5 more spots, and I'm still deciding whether to release these as like a singular video or actually listen to Eric on this one, because he seems to be the smart one in the group. But for now, what you get is Gura.